Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, we are on the second plague today, and it's entitled The Second Plague, Frogs. And it's taken from Exodus 8, verses 1 through 15. Now, it's just a funny, it's funny to us because I don't mind having frogs around here, but I sure don't want them in my house and every place else. A couple of frogs are okay because they eat the insects and the mosquitoes and everything else, but I sure don't want frogs every place. And you can, after it rains around here, and it really rains a lot, you can hear outside the different frogs croaking, and there's like multiplication of frogs going, and the tadpoles and all that are going. Well, you can get that picture today in what happens here, but the frogs, they kept on going. It was a crazy house of frogs. And again, frogs, this was something God was using all these plagues to show his power over these false gods. So a frog back then was considered divine, all right? Crazy as that. And you weren't supposed to be killing frogs because of the divine nature of the frogs. The frogs you had the Nile, so you had mosquitoes and bugs and everything else. So the frogs were very useful because it got rid of the bugs. It was a natural pest remover. So that was one thing. But this, there's a goddess called Heket, Heqet, Heket, and that was the goddess of birth, and it had a frog head. So it was like a crazy looking god, but it had this frog head. All right, and so this is what God is showing he has the power over, and it's like he's saying, hey, you love frogs? When you want to worship those frogs, let me give you frogs. And he gave him more frogs than you ever know what to do with. So let's read this here today. It's taken from Exodus chapter 8, and this is verses 1 through 15. All right, it says this: 7 days passed after the Lord struck the Nile. Then the Lord said to Moses, go to Pharaoh and say to him, this is what the Lord says, let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go, I will send a plague of frogs on your whole country. The Nile will teem with frogs. They will come up into your palace and in your bedroom and onto your bed, into the houses of your officials and on the people, and into your ovens and kneading troughs. Yeah, into your ovens and kneading troughs? That's where I'm making my food. Verse 4, the frogs will come up on you and your people and all your officials. Then the Lord said to Moses, tell Aaron, stretch out your hand with your staff over the streams and canals and ponds, and make frogs come on the land of Egypt. So Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land. But the magicians did the same things. By their secret arts, they also made frogs come up on the land of Egypt. Okay? Let me stop there for a moment. The same thing happened earlier with the first plague. The guys were able to duplicate that, taking the Nile and making water to blood, which wasn't a good thing. Then they couldn't reverse it. So God was showing, yeah, go ahead, do that. It doesn't help the cause. And here is the same thing. They could duplicate it. They could make more frogs come out. And again, why do you want more frogs? Can you reverse it? These guys couldn't reverse it. All right. So God is allowing them to do their demonic activity. Sure. It just makes matters worse. All right, verse 8. Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and said, pray to the Lord, take the frogs away from me and my people, and I will let your people go to offer sacrifice to the Lord. Hey, look at this. It looks like easy, like Pharaoh's going to let them go. Moses said to Pharaoh, I leave to you the honor of setting the time for me to pray for you and your officials and your people, that you and your houses may be rid of the frogs, except for those that remain in the Nile. Tomorrow, Pharaoh said. Moses replied, it will be as you say, so that you know there is no one like the Lord our God. The frogs will leave you and your houses, your officials and your people. They will remain only in the Nile. After Moses and Aaron left Pharaoh, Moses cried out to the Lord about the frogs that he brought on Pharaoh. And the Lord did what Moses asked. The frogs died in the houses, in the courtyards, and in the fields. They were piled into heaps, and the land reeked of them. But when Pharaoh saw that there was relief, he hardened his heart and would not listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had said. Okay? So, again, this is pointing out here that God has the power over this false god, this god of fertility, really, and it has this frog head to it, and so he's proven he has the power over it. But he's also saying, you want this fake false god? Let me give you that fake false god more than you ever wanted. And he just unloads all the frogs on him, and so that they're, they were like loving frogs before. A few is good, but with all these frogs, they hated the frogs. Okay, so God was taking that false idol worship and making it so it was something the Egyptians despised. They didn't like it anymore. Okay, because of this, and so that's God working things out. He's going to take something that we love and worship, and he's going to make it so that we end up despising it and loving and not wanting it anymore. There's a hole in our heart that only God can fulfill. We can try and put all kinds of other garbage into it, but it's only God that can fulfill filling that hole in our heart. All right, thank you for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey in Exodus. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.